TAKful Creator here. Okay, let's get started. May God the Creator bless us. May God the Redeemer heal us. May God the Holy Spirit enlighten us. Give us eyes to see, ears to hear, and hands to do the work of God. Feet to walk the path of justice, and mouths to preach the good news. May the angel of peace, abundance, prosperity, guidance, love, appreciation, gratitude, and sincerity watch over us and lead us to the reign of God. Ashe. Okay, so let's see what the general collective read is today. Okay, so tapping into this energy, I'm sensing there's a lot of chaos happening, but it's just such a calm period. So what do we need to know? Car, trash can, garbage. Someone's car is trash. We need the night school deck. Okay. Clean. So someone needs to clean the trash out of their car. Maybe this is a helpful tip and hint to someone maybe going on an excursion soon. Clean out your car or clean out the trash. It might be hindering your vibration. Better days are coming. Then we have this night school deck. So let's see what we have here. While setting up, I just felt the need to just ground the board. And that's one of the reasons why all the stones are out. There's a lot of grounding that is necessary right now. We really need to figure out why. Something about something in September. Okay, so look at the night school cards. Wondering why I can't find it right now. Oh. Found them. Okay, so let's see. Taurus. So this card is definitely the energy that we tapped into the last few readings. And so I'm guessing the spiritual war, maybe that's the reason why the grounding is necessary. The spiritual war is very real and happening as we speak. Ooh. See, we needing more from the night school deck. Even the energy surrounding this reading is so like subtle chaotic. It's like there's a peacefulness here, a tranquility, but it's like the cards are very hard. They're harsh. They're falling in ways that are just very heavy. Then the first few cards we have is that you need to clean out your car, clean out the trash in your car. Ooh. Okay. Being told only one. Alright, so let's see what we have here. And we're not gonna go into too much like breath on what these cards symbolize, because I'm getting that they all tie into one another. There is one message all of these cards together are sending. So let's figure out what that message is. Scrying. Told not the card underneath. This is something happening in September month. Okay. Maybe if it's... Hi, Divine. Can you show me yes, please? Thank you. Can you show me no? Thank you. And that we're on the right track. Much appreciated. Okay, so this September, are we talking about early September? No, we're talking about late September. Okay, so late September, something happened. There was an eclipse, a full moon, a new moon, something like that, an energetic shift that happened late September, where people were required, in order to heighten their vibration during that time, heighten the overall collective frequency, they were required to clean their space. So that can mean their house, which if it's the end of September going into a new month, there would be a space cleaning anyway. So cleaning your residence, cleaning your car, because that's the car fell out here. So maybe during that time you didn't clean out your car, and it would be imperative that you do so now. Okay. You didn't clean out your car, that's correct. But don't clean it out. Okay. The car's trash. Garbage. Clean the garbage out. So don't clean your car out, just take the trash that's inside your car out of your car. Because whatever energy that was there late September into October, that's a positive energy for you. But what's blocking your positive... Oh, confirmation. Okay, now I got it. Thank you. Okay, so the shift from September to October, there was a new moon or a full moon where you cleansed your space. In you doing so, you cleaned your car as well as your residence, but you cleaned your car, and that offered a lot of positivity for you. There's a lot of manifestation energy in that space in your car. Like, it has a lot of manifestation energy. But what happens is, as you're moving through, it lessens. And it only lessens is because you're adding outside influences and then symbolically leaving them in the vehicle. So like, for example, you're taking food, and although that has a positive influence, once you eat it and you just have the container left, that offers a negative influence. So now you're leaving the negative influence in your car, which is your manifestation space, and it's going to take away from you. Oftentimes a manifestation space is a place where you're able to meditate. A lot of people spend time in their vehicles, driving, i.e. traffic, or a lot of places to go, a far commute, whatever the case is. And so this is where you spend the most time thinking, probably listening to music, and which is all about manifestation, listening to the radio, listening to other people talk, podcasts, and so on and so forth. Okay, so yeah, take the trash out so that your manifestations can thrive purely, because leaving the garbage is toxifying it, right? Okay, so that was just that message, this collective message. Now we have the night school. And we need to figure out exactly what all these cards are wanting to convey to us. Okay, so the first was Taurus. That fell out. Taurus is a sense of security and sensuality, right? We talked about in a previous reading that the sensuality has everything to do with charming, being charming, but understanding when to offer that charming and when to kind of be secluded, when to retreat and give that charming essence to yourself, right? Because most Tauruses are hierophants. They tend to be by themselves or enjoy being by themselves, right? So then next we have a sense of stubbornness with Taurus. Now that could be positive or that could be negative. Noting, since I am a Taurus, noting that a lot of that stubbornness offers creation. Once you're fixed and focused on an idea, you would do almost anything and everything to see it progress in the highest light. And so that obviously incorporates a bit of stubbornness, because if there's outside influences wanting to sway you from your designated goal, you have to maintain a sense of strength and determination in order to kind of push away those energies and continue to thrive, right? In the direction that you're seeking. So instead of saying stubbornness for Tauruses, we really should say tenacity, being tenacious. That's what we should use. Now, Tauruses are closely linked with the throat chakra, so being very vocal, offering positivity and high vibration with their vocals, because anyone can talk, right? But it's what you say when you're talking. So how are you using your chakra, right, and the chakra that is or has the ability to connect with a wide variety of people, those that are not even within your grasp? How are you expressing this? How are you using this? If you're not using it in the highest form, it can manifest in diseases like having thyroid issues, or having neck or throat pain, tonsillitis, and things of that nature, right? So not only do we have Taurus energy here, which Tauruses, their hyperactive sign is Venus. So most often you won't really notice a Taurus as a Taurus, right? You'll notice a Taurus as any other sign, because most of the time when they're moving within their Venus sign, opposed to their sun sign. You can tell a Taurus after an extended period of time with them, and you see the major patterns with how they move. But the little details, the day in and day out, they're usually moving in their Venus, right? Coupled with their Mercury or Mars, but mostly their Venus. So there are two signs that share this hypersensitivity or hyperactivity. Either way, it makes sense for what we're explaining. The other one is Libra. Libra, their hyperactive sign is in Venus. And I saw Libra fall when... Where are you? Here we are. So it says, Libra loves art and beauty for beauty's sake and focused on relationships, romance, harmony, cooperation. In other words, the we orientation, right? So that's where we get the Venus. So while Libra is the more physical loving, physical aestheticism, right? Just noting the tangibility of what Venus is. Taurus is the idea of what Venus is. It's the non-tangible. It is the feeling around it. It is the background noise that offers the ambiance. That is what Taurus is. Whereas Libra is the physical ambiance, like the candle. Like if we were talking about a room, the Taurus would be the music, the scent, the smell, the color contrast in the room. Whereas Libra would be the candles and the food placement and the roses, the rose placement. If you were doing kind of a romantic scene, since that's what Venus is all about, right? That part of your sign. So we have the connection here, right? We need to move in love during this time, but in a comprehensive sense. We can't just move physically. We have to also move non-tangibly. We have to set the intention. We have to speak about it. We have to offer a sense of warmth, even if we're not physically doing anything. We have to use our auras to offer that love, while having the capabilities to express that love in a healthy way. Because we have Gemini here in reverse, since we're still talking about signs. Now Gemini, that energy is usually lively, quick-witted, intellectual, social, but could be inconsistent or fickle, prone to outside influence. Now that's exactly what we were speaking on a little bit earlier, with Taurus is having that focus, that I would say pristine precision, with making sure outside influences don't manipulate the goal or the objective, the plan, of action that the Taurus, or anyone for that matter, is a part of, right? But then we have the Gemini here in reverse. So whatever negative influences aren't really being affected. Yes, they're here, they're present, right? Because that's what I'm getting by the card being reversed, that we're not really speaking on the positive attributes as much. And even though the negative ones kind of embellish, kind of support the positive ones, in the reverse, it just says that they're here, but the positive attributes are not necessary to push it away. It's kind of like the Libra and Taurus energy is such a powerful balance during this time, that this chaotic energy that wants to be inconsistent and kind of nitpick and slowly confirmation, slowly decrease vibration, slowly take away. For example, if you had a bag of chips and every so often one person went in there and took a Dorito out or took a potato chip out, now what happens? There's less in the bag, and eventually there will be nothing left. But because it's happening one after the other in a slow succession, you're not realizing that the bag is becoming empty. To you, there's only one that left. There's only one that left. That mindset over an extended period of time could deplete whatever resources that you have available, even if it's just energy. Right? So that's what this is here doing. It's like circling around, trying to nitpick and take away from, I would say, this union, this couplement, right? So I'm going to put it here, like right underneath, like it's going to attack it. So what should we do during this time in order to make sure that this energy is not attacking the high vibe Venus fusion, that even if you don't have the signs of Libra and Taurus, you can still embody the energy? The whole point of us moving in this timeline is to, for one, understand the gifts that we were born with, and then two, see how those gifts can help others. But while we're seeing how those gifts can help others, we're seeing how others' gifts help us. And by seeing that, we are then responsible for taking on that positive energy. Because I know people say, there's half twin flames, there's one and you're looking for your other part. There's a void inside you, or whatever the case is. No. There's a void inside you because you don't realize who you are yet. And your life here, your process here is to learn who you are. And you learn who you are by what you're also missing, what you have and then what you don't have. What you don't have in your immediate frequency. For example, if you're a Taurus and you don't have any Libra in your sign, but you have Libras around you, life is offering you the balance, letting you know that even though you don't have these signs attached to you, the energy is around you so that you can learn from the energy and incorporate that into your general scheme. By the end of your lifetime, you will be able then to embody all the positive attributes of every single sign, no matter what your initial signs are. That is the ultimate ascension. Because by you tapping into all of these gifts, you're able to help the collective in a way that's insurmountable, because you can't be limited then. Your audience is everyone, right? So that's kind of where we are with that. So again, how can we help ourselves during this time to protect us from this energy? We can offer a salt soak, right? So this could just be your feet, or this could be a salt bath. Now, I'm feeling more of soaking your feet in a Epsom salt or sea salt, soaking your feet and like offering the self-love that is also embodied by the Venus, right? Giving love to others because you have learned and perfected giving love to yourself. So it's overflowing, you're able to share it with others, right? That's what we're here to do. So just as Jesus washed the feet of the poor, you are now, and it's symbolic. Yes, it was a way of sacrificing and, paying homage, giving honor, but it's also a way of cleansing the impurities that they had. So just as he was a healer, cleansing the feet, purifying the feet, when the feet are connected to every major nerve, every part of your body is connected to your feet, right? There's a pressure point for every part of your body in your feet. So by cleansing it, you're symbolically purifying your entire body. So not only was Jesus sending a note that you need to treat others, no matter where they are in life, like you would treat yourself in the highest respectable light, universal decency, you know, but also he was teaching them how to offer purification when you don't have the means. Something as simple as setting the intention and cleansing the feet could cleanse your aura and offer better opportunities for you, offer more dopamine, a higher mindset, so that you align with different people that can assist you better in life, and then you're not in this poverty state anymore, because it starts with the mind. But it starts with the mind and transfers through the body. So in order for you to really correct the mind, you have to make sure that you cleanse it from the body so the mind can stay consistent in that positive light, right? So salt bath, salt and soak, but aim to soak your feet. And while you're soaking your feet, just like you would bless the water that you drink, bless the water, that confirmation, bless the water that you're putting your feet into. Thank it for what it's doing, and thank the ethereal realm for the energetic shifts, the unseen. You get what I'm saying? Okay, so then we have 5 element system. Okay, so the 5 element system is the energies that lead to transformation. Okay, so what kind of bothers me about the cards, some talk about a sixth sense, but they all don't note it as a part of your normal 5 senses. So there's 5 senses here that's listed, but then there's also, it speaks on like a sixth sense, it speaks on a confirmation, intuition, and all of that. So I'm going to, instead of saying 5 element system, we're going to say a 6 element system, right? We're going to incorporate the intuition, the third eye, that sixth sense, because that is tethered to all of your spiritual gifts that physically help you move just like your other senses do, and they work in hyperdrive just like your other senses do. Is your personal filters whether or not you're able to see what's going on. Okay, so we have the 6 element system. It's in reverse. So I'm seeing that 5 of the elements are being used, but we're not nurturing our 6th element. And I say we is because we could be nurturing one aspect of it, but we're leaving the other ones kind of floating. Okay, so the salt soak is also to link all 6 senses by taking the 5 senses. So the and that's, it's telling me to also add like essential oils. So I have a few here. I have tangerine, which is good for abundance. Palo Santo is great for happiness, clearing negative energies, offering more positive energies. It's a really great space cleansing, and the smell I think is ideal. I also have wild orange paired with the tangerine, because not only does it give health benefits like strengthening the immune system and offering great circulation, but it's great for abundance and prosperity and attracting luck. And then I have the rose, beach rose, and that is, I love the smell of rose, but beach rose, wow, it's like love, because the rose is attached to the heart chakra, right? So it's about love, but it's like the emotional aspect, because you think of the water and like really tapping into your sensibilities, your sensitivities. And so that beach rose is just a combination of it. So when you're talking about emotion, you're also talking about feeling. Now your heart feels. So having both of those together, it's just like the ideal. If you are like myself and enjoy passion, it's like the ideal, literally the ideal. If you like to be intoxicated with your senses. do this soak bath, and make sure you set the intentions of aligning your 5 senses with your 6th sense, right? Incorporate the essential oils for smell. You have the sense of, I would say, taste, because people don't realize this, but you do have receptors in your feet that can dictate taste. So while you're walking on the ground, you can kind of taste, and you're barefoot on the ground, you can taste the ground beneath you. And it's subtle though. It's not like the receptors in your mouth. It's very subtle. And over time, it gets callous. So kids have that a fresher connection. So like when it rains and you go out and smell it, the reason why that sense of smell sticks with you over an extended period of time, because usually as a kid, you're going out in the rain, your feet are wet. Your feet are also taking in all of your senses, all of your receptors in a sense, or not most of your receptors, excuse me, most of your receptors are taking in the aroma. Okay. So yeah, you have your scent receptors in your feet, so then you're basically tasting it. Your smell receptors with the aroma, that's also allowing you to taste it. Then you have listening to it, because often when you soak your feet, it's not really you just sit and rest, right? It's you're putting one foot in, one foot out. You're massaging your feet. You're making sure that whatever dead skin is removed, so that whatever new can flourish. You know, the new can't flourish through if the old is encompassing it, you know, is covering it up. You have to remove it. So then that's what you're doing. So you're listening to, you know, the water and being present, right? Listening to how it sounds to do certain things. Like it's mindfulness, it's presence. It's not allowing your mind to wander too much. It's letting your mind focus on what is happening in your immediate environment, right? And then during this time, since we're making it a meditative practice, vocalize your intentions. Like when you're setting the water, speak on the water, what you want the water to do and how you want it to cleanse you, and be grateful for it and appreciative for it. And this is a version of praying. So everyone, you know, some people in religions, they close their hands and they close their eyes, bow their heart, and pray silently, or they pray vocally. There's a structure or whatever. You know, there's some versions of prayer where you're just speaking intentions out into the world. That's also a prayer. Walking up to a tree and offering gratitude for what it does, that's a prayer. Walking up to a person and giving them a compliment, that's a prayer. Especially if that compliment is genuine and from the most authentic parts of your heart, it's a prayer. Okay, there's so many things that there's a prayer. And we're called to be on this hero's journey as a part of the collective, as the chosen people. We're meant to be hyper attuned to the energies that are around us because they affect us. In order to be hyper attuned, you have to cleanse, you have to purify. So a lot in the hero's journey, you'll see them dressed up in a cape and they're out and saving the world. But then there's a period of time when there's no chaos. They're reclusive. They are taking care of themselves. Their responsibilities, assuring that they are whole, so that if something were to happen, they're able to stop what they're doing, trusting that their lives are still taken care of, and then go and assist people in an additional way, okay, an added benefit type of way. 5 of the elements are being used, but we're not nurturing our 6th element. And I say we is because we could be nurturing one aspect of it, but we're leaving the other ones kind of floating. Okay, so the salt soak is also to link all 6 senses by taking the 5 senses. So and that's, it's telling me to also add like essential oils. So I have a few here. I have tangerine, which is good for abundance. Palo Santo is great for happiness, clearing negative energies, offering more positive energies. It's a really great space cleansing, and the smell, I think, is ideal. I also have wild orange paired with the tangerine. because not only does it give health benefits like strengthening the immune system and offering great circulation, but it's great for abundance and prosperity and attracting luck. And then I have the rose, beach rose, and that is, I love the smell of rose, but beach rose, wow, it's like love, because the rose is attached to the heart chakra, right? So it's about love, but it's like the emotional aspect, because you think of the water and like really tapping into your sensibilities, your sensitivities. And so that beach rose is just a combination of it. So when you're talking about emotion, you're also talking about feeling. Now your heart feels. So having both of those together, it's just like the ideal. If you are like myself and enjoy passion, it's like the ideal, literally the ideal. If you like to be intoxicated with your senses, do this soak bath and make sure you set the intentions of aligning your 5 senses with your 6th sense, right? Incorporate the essential oils for smell. You have the sense of, I would say, taste, because people don't realize this, but you do have receptors in your feet that can dictate taste. So while you're walking on the ground, you can kind of taste, and you're barefoot on the ground, you can taste the ground beneath you. And it's subtle though. It's not like the receptors in your mouth. It's very subtle. And over time, it gets callous. So kids have that a fresher connection. So like when it rains and you go out and smell it, the reason why that sense of smell sticks with you over an extended period of time, because usually as a kid, you're going out in the rain, your feet are wet. Your feet are also taking in all of your senses, all of your receptors in a sense, or not most of your receptors, excuse me, most of your receptors are taking in the aroma, okay? So yeah, you have your scent receptors in your feet, so then you're basically tasting it. Your smell receptors with the aroma, that's also allowing you to taste it. Then you have listening to it, because often when you soak your feet, it's not really you just sit and rest, right? It's you're putting one foot in, one foot out. You're massaging your feet. You're making sure that whatever dead skin is removed, so that whatever new can flourish. You know, the new can't flourish through if the old is encompassing it, you know, is covering it up. You have to remove it. So then that's what you're doing. So you're listening to, you know, the water and being present, right? Listening to how it sounds to do certain things. Like it's mindfulness, it's presence. It's not allowing your mind to wander too much. It's letting your mind focus on what is happening in your immediate environment, right? And then during this time, since we're making it a meditative practice, vocalize your intentions. Like when you're setting the water, speak on the water, what you want the water to do and how you want it to cleanse you, and be grateful for it and appreciative for it. And this is a version of praying. So everyone, you know, some people in religions, they close their hands and they close their eyes, bow their heart, and pray silently, or they pray vocally. There's a structure or whatever. You know, there's some versions of prayer where you're just speaking intentions out into the world. That's also a prayer. Walking up to a tree and offering gratitude for what it does, that's a prayer. Walking up to a person and giving them a compliment, that's a prayer. Especially if that compliment is genuine and from the most authentic parts of your heart, it's a prayer. Okay, there's so many things that there's a prayer. And we're called to be on this hero's journey as a part of the collective, as the chosen people. We're meant to be hyper attuned to the energies that are around us because they affect us. In order to be hyper attuned, you have to cleanse, you have to purify. So a lot in the hero's journey, you'll see them dressed up in a cape and they're out and saving the world. But then there's a period of time when there's no chaos. They're reclusive. They are taking care of themselves. Their responsibilities, assuring that they are whole, so that if something were to happen, they're able to stop what they're doing trusting that their lives are still taken care of, and then go and assist people in an additional way, okay, an added benefit type of way. So that's what I'm getting here from the hero's journey. That's what this time is all about. But it's how we're going about it. I see Scorpio kind of snuck out. Now, Scorpio was initially under this Gemini in reverse card, but it's in the upright. Now, the Scorpio has everything to do with your reproductive organs and your colon, right? Now, your colon is your large intestine. It's where your poop is. Very plain and simple. And your reproductive organs are a bit above that. So we can associate these two areas with your sacral and root chakras. Okay, now Scorpio, it's a sexual energy, right? So for confirmation, so for us to see it while we're talking about Venus being the hyperactive energy during this time, right? It makes a lot of sense. There's transformation here, integration while also having de-integration. Okay, so we're bringing things together because we're taking things that no longer serve us apart. So things that don't align with love in a physical sense, love in an energetic sense, right? Removing chaos and pushing that chaotic inconsistency away. Us seeing that love is the one true light, and we have to move in that. Whether we feel it or not, we have to move in it, right? That's the whole purpose of having faith or hope. You know, a lot of people have hope, but hope doesn't require action. Action literally can be setting the... You need to kind of be like reclusive in a sense. You need to take time away from everyone else in order for this cleansing to fully happen, for the integration of your senses to truly happen. You have to kind of remove yourself. And I think that's one of the reasons why the Scorpio didn't align when I was talking about the major energies, because to me this is just an identifier. This is a supporting. Because we're in this energy, Scorpio is elevating it. Okay, we're not only talking about looking at tangible beauty, but maybe engaging in that tangible beauty, right? And in order for us to engage our sacral chakra, we must have a clear foundation, right? And that would be our root chakra. Understanding where we want to plant ourselves, what we want to unearth in that area. Is it good soil, you know, type of thing. Like that's what this whole removing yourself and letting the integration and de-integration happen, it is seeing whether or not the soil is nurturing these roots over here, these love roots. Okay, so then next we have magic is everywhere. And I'm gonna read this. Magic is everywhere. To see it and the effects it has on your life change the way that you perceive the world. To harness it, confirmation. To harness it, change the way that you interact with the energies around you. To know it, change the way that you think. To live it, remember the lessons of the night as you go about your day. So what do we do at nighttime? We remove ourselves from the world. We cleanse ourselves by taking a bath or whatever the case is. We nourish ourselves by eating food. And then we prepare for the next day. We prepare for our future, right? And in order to prepare for our future, we must rest and recuperate. So while you do all of this at night, realize the symbolism there. Okay? You are performing magic. You are cleansing your aura. Just as we're saying here in this energy, you are cleansing your aura, offering yourself love and care to be able to continue your purpose, your mission, whether or not you agree with it, but continue your purpose and your mission. The test here is to not only do it because you have work the next day, to set time outside of it with the intention of you doing it solely for self-care. Not to prepare for anything the next day. You may not even know what is going to unfold for you. Your responsibility during this time is to embody this love energy. To confirmation, to be this love energy from top to bottom, in and out, throughout your vessel, so that it's so much so, the entropy creates so much love that you can't do anything but overflow it in a healthy and positive light into everyone else's lives around you that are most deserving of it. Okay? And even those that aren't deserving of it, so they can see that there's a better light than what than the path that they're on. There's paths with more light that they can see, right? So see the magic everywhere by embodying that you are the magic. Live that magic, and the more you live it, the more you'll see it. A lot of people are just like, you see it and then you're living it because you're in that environment. No, 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 no. It first comes from within. Be that magic internally, and you'll see that magic around you constantly. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this up here. That is so important. So, okay, scrying. We have that in the upright, and then we have unleash your senses in the upright. We have all of these other necessary hints for the collective in the reverse. So let's see what we're saying here. Unleash your senses. What do you smell standing under the sky? Okay, so this is embellishing what we were talking about, the 5 senses, right? And how it was in reverse. It's really the positive, right? It's in reverse because we're noting that the integration of your 5 and 6 hasn't yet happened fully. So we're having it happen fully by having the salt bath and setting our intentions. But while you're setting the intentions, you have to release, okay? Use your feet portals as a way of releasing any negative energies, right? So it says, like, what did you smell on a certain day? Clairsentience is not only smell. Clairsentience has everything to do with touch and feel too, okay? And that's where we have okay, so then we have clairsentience. That's what I was talking about, but I'm seeing here that clear alliance is what we have, right? Now, clear alliance, this less common clear, because this is kind of news to me. This is a new card. I haven't heard of this before. So I've seen this as a subsect to clairsentience. So I guess now they just have like a separate name for it. That is super cool. So this less common clear is particularly sensual. Clear alliance is when your brain translates the energy patterns you perceive as scent. Okay, so it is clairsentience, but it is specifically how your brain is translating it. So you can smell an aroma, but your brain remembers one experience, where you can smell the same aroma and your brain remembers a different experience. That's what clear alliance is talking about here. So when we see unleash your senses, it's not only talking about the first sense that you experience. It's saying repeat it. Repeat this engagement and see what your senses show you next, and see what your senses show you next. And doing the same exact structure, offering the same meditative practice of the salt bath, your foot Epsom salt bath or sea salt bath, or it can be other herbs, you know, whatever is most attuned to you on your spiritual path during this time. Take the time to let your brain release any of the like memories it didn't fully analyze yet. And don't even try to analyze it. Just let it go through your mind and write it down. Confirmation. Let it go through your mind, write it down. Every time you do the bath salts, Epsom bath salt in this meditative practice, because it also can be like a full bath if you want. It doesn't always have to be a foot bath, and I'm being told to express that here. But use this clear alliance. By you unleashing your senses, you are offering yourself a new psychic gift. Okay? One that you can teach yourself. Confirmation. One that you can teach yourself and nourish. Okay, so then we have scrying. Write down a question about your life. Choose a reflective surface like a mirror or bowl. Quiet your mind with full breaths. Hold your question in your mind as you gaze into the reflection. Note what you see. It will most likely be abstract and need to be interpreted. Boom. That's exactly what I stated here with the clear alliance. Write down all of these new memories. And I would say new memories because, yes, you remember them at one point in time, but now your mind sees that there's an intention behind remembering them. Okay, so we're going to call them new memories, right? And just write it down. what you remember when you smelled the aroma when you were doing the bath. What do you remember? Write it down. Write it down. Don't judge yourself for what you do remember, what you don't remember. Don't try to force it. Move and flow. Whatever you can remember, write it down, because what you're writing down, that's what you have to process. That's what has to unfold for you in a way that can bring you to your highest light. Okay? And it's not going, don't analyze it while you're in the bath. It takes away from the intention of the cleansing. Set time apart where you're like, okay, this is self-care time. I want to understand me. How do I best do that? Go back to this journal or these notes that you write down and write down next to it what that means to you, why it means to you, and what brought you to the place that you are now remembering it. Now you can just say, oh, it's a salt bath, or you can be like, oh, well, the scent smelled like when it was raining outside this day, or when something else was happening, or, you know, when another thing was happening. Like, we have a few, yes, confirmation. So, more positive light. That's what I'm going to take it as. Okay, so definitely take this time to have the self-reflection outside of your salt bath. Okay, this is all a part of self-care, and even though you are spending all this time on yourself and you may feel guilty, you are heightening the energetic vibration of the collective. You are doing more spiritual work than you would be if you went to a job and worked 8 to 9 hours that day. Okay, this 20 minutes of you doing the salt bath and 10 minutes of reflection is more energetic work than that. Even though you're expending less energy, you're actually, this relaxation is imbuing you with energy, is bringing everything in a higher vibe. Trust, the next day you go to work, you're going to have an even better day than if you decide to push this very necessary salt bath away and went to work and did whatever you wanted to do, type of thing. Okay, so make sure that you are taking care of yourself in order to take care of the energies around you. Okay, next we have inventory your influencers. Okay, so this means just limit your outside information, I would say, because people influence you daily. The people that just walk by you have the potential to influence you, but you have to hone in on your self-discipline, the energies you allow in, and the energies that you are meant to repel. Okay, and when I mean allow energies in to heighten your vibration, allow energies in that you need to transmute in order to help them, and then heighten your vibration, and then repel energies that offer you no good at all. Okay, so that's where you are. Limit your influencers. If you don't feel in your best and highest light when you are around these individuals, or when you're listening to these individuals, remove yourself or cloak yourself. Okay, because you are offering the enemy during the spiritual war, you're offering the enemy artillery in order to assassinate your ancestors, and you don't want to do that. So limit your exposure to these negative energies. Repel it when you can, and then imbue it in other. Yeah, so I don't really know what's going on with the camera at this point. Like, it just keeps going off for no reason. I'm going to attribute it to the devil not wanting me to get the energy out. Definitely sabotaging. I'll just attribute it to that, because like, this is just wild at this point. Let's see how long it takes before it turns off again. But anyway, so the next 3 cards, I would say these are for not beginner level spiritualists or chosen people. I would say this is for maybe expert into your master level. This is the insight for you. So if you made it this far, I thank you. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I appreciate donations. I really do. Thank you. God sees you. And I'm gonna leave it there. It says practice reading symbols. So the symbols that I have for you is not the normal symbols of like numerology, number patterns and stuff like that. I'm talking about the energetic symbols. So like animal totems, seeing how a random bird flies by you. If it moves left, what that means. If it moves right, what that means. The type of bird, what that means. The color of the bird, where that color is located. Is it normal to how the bird normally will look if you Googled it? If it's not, note that difference, because you are getting additional details and additional signs that are integral to how you, a higher vibe individual, need to move to assist the spiritual war. Okay, so I'm being told to take a gander at what is known as symbolism. Okay, so this means there's personal research that needs to happen. Define what sources are the best for expressing what symbolism is, and incorporate it into your readings. Start teaching others what the symbolism is, so that it's easier for you to note it on your own without having to Google it. Okay, so you're being told to not only learn this on your own, but while you are learning, the second you start learning, to practice it immediately. Yes, you might not be 100% about it, and there might be some things that leave room for question. It might not be 100% ideal or whatever. Whoever you're speaking to, it is important to them. How you say it, the way you say it, it is important that they hear it that way. So you need to share your gifts immediately while you're learning these symbols. So not only that, if you are walking by a tree, and a tree, there's 3 trees next to you, but one tree, the wind is moving the most, figure out what kind of tree that is. What does that tree offer? What is the health-giving benefits of that tree? What is the historical significance of that tree? Because you might need to incorporate it. You might need to incorporate the health-giving benefits into your daily structure. You might need to go and hug that tree. It might not be about like the symbolism behind it. You might be called to energetically connect so that you can feel the crystalline structure and offer, like, pump it with high vibe energy, so that the ethereal confirmation, so the ethereal realm can have more energy to push the positive message that we have, okay, or that we're all moving toward. Okay, look into science, the rain patterns. If the rain happens and it smells a certain way, if it smells different, what do you think about during that time that it smelled that way? It is letting you know what happened. Okay, so I know I feel like I'm just going crazy, but if you are at this point in the video, I know that you can understand what I'm saying. Okay, let's say it starts to rain and you smell the rain, and it smells like that one day when you were in the south and it rained. Okay, it might have been a spiritual war happening at that point too. What was happening around that time, it will give you clues and identifiers to what's about to happen for you, as foreshadowing. Okay, let's say you smell like it's about to rain, but you don't smell rain at all. That could be a complete red flag. It can let you know of immediate danger in your surroundings. Okay, if it doesn't even look like it's going to rain, but you see birds flying from one way to the other, while animals are moving in angst, that might be your notion to move to. You need to move in the direction of the animals. Follow where the animals are going, because that's going to lead you to some kind of upgrade, spiritual alignment, some kind of like maybe unlocking of a spiritual gift in order for you to better assist the collective. Okay, so these symbols and synchronicities during this time are truly important to you. And yes, numerology has everything to do with it. Animal totems have everything to do with it. Color symbolism has everything to do with it. Signs, energy that are attached to signs, all of these things have everything to do with it. But it's how you move with the knowledge. That is what you're learning during this time. It's not only textbook. It's you, okay, this is what the sign means. I'm going to go and do it. Do I see an energetic shift? Do I feel an energetic shift? If I don't, maybe I didn't do this 100% correctly. Let me shift what I'm doing just a little bit, and then do it again. Did this reorientation help? Okay, maybe it did. Okay, so that's where you are here. My masters out here, my experts. Okay, my very, very highly skilled people. You just don't feel like you're an expert, or you're just super highly skilled. This is for you. Okay, Now, next we have cardinal signs in astrology. So we have the cardinal signs of Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Okay, these are the initiators. They tend to get things moving and stir things up. That's what you're called to do during this time. You are called to be the 3D representation of the warriors in the spiritual realm. Think of Black Panther, I guess, right? You are protecting your ancestry. You're protecting your lineage, your culture. Okay, how do you do this? By seeing the hints and signs that they're dropping in your lap, and there's subtle signs too. They're not like robust. Like they're subtle so that you can see it. But your action is robust. Your action is going to make waves, ripples, okay? Next we have read the leaves. Make a cup of unfiltered loose leaf tea. While you drink it, write down a question you have about your life. Now examine the patterns left by the leaves in the bottom of the cup. What do you see? It will most likely be abstract and need to be interpreted. Yes, okay, so that is tying into practice reading the signs. Okay, so as we noted initially, the universe, the divine, God, whoever, whatever you want to use as a euphemism, for the all, they're giving you signs constantly. You'll see a leaf fly down in front of you. You'll see trash roll by you. You see an animal run across the street. Like, these are all signs that the universe is giving you. And you're meant to truly interpret the signs and move based on action. However, in order for you to truly embody this gift, you have to create the signs yourself. Boom. Okay? You have to act as if you were the universe. And it might seem blasphemous, but act as if you're the universe. Create your tea. Manipulate the tea. Drink the tea a certain way and see what ends up happening. Confirmation. See where the leaves fall on the bottom of the tea. Now, instead of the universe showing you a cat running across the street and a leaf falling down from a tree, you have to see if you see a cat in the leaves. You have to see if you see a leaf in the leaves. You have to see if you see a number, or I remember one time I saw an anchor in my tea leaves, like a sense of stability and security, right? Like, it's what you're able to interpret is your physical interpretation, and whatever your interpretation is privy to your mind state, your psyche during that time, and it's paramount to your progression. Okay, you increasing your vibration to be your highest self, and by you doing that, by you interpreting yourself and analyzing why your mind is the way it is and how it works, you are then offering just the energy alone that other people can sense and be able to taste. And what do you do when you eat something? Your body becomes it. You are what you eat. So if they're sitting there tasting your energy, now boom, confirmation, they have a bit of your energy too. You helped increase their vibration. All you did was walk by them. Okay, so I'm left to end it on that one. I feel like the reading was super long, super detailed, and I kind of went on like a little spaz rant. But my rants are usually when I'm channeling, so just know that this information is so rich. Okay, if you're here and you're listening to it at this point, you are so important, and I thank you. I show so much gratitude. I have tears in my eyes right now. I show so much gratitude for you, because it's us out here. It's us out here trying to save the world, and we're doing it one vibration at a time. Okay, and with that, until the next.